Hello, this is my channel Calm, Cool and Relax, and today we will study about case history format. And this case history format only based upon the IGNOU's case history format. Indira Gandhi National Open University provides us a case history format, and this case history format we will study today. So this is a thing. So whatever is included in the case history format of IGNOU's case history format, we will study. So what's included in this format? In case history format include demographic data, present complaints, duration of present complaints, and also many things are there. At first I am discussing what is these things, what the demographic data, present complaints, duration of present complaints. By the way, this is the for this we have the explanation later, so I am going through this only. So after this we have history of present illness, course, progress, biological functions, negative history, treatment history, family history, any psychiatric history, personal history, pre-morbid personality. So what include each section? First of all, I said the demographic data. So what include the demographic data? Demographic data include name, age, sex, occupation, residence, urban or rural, and also it also includes marital status, married or unmarried, separated, divorced or single, and also it includes mother tongue, religion, family type like nuclear or joint, socioeconomic status like lower, middle or upper, and also it include number of family members, source of reference, reason for referral. Also it includes informant's name, relationship with the client, duration of relationship with the client, reliability and adequacy. So whenever we are saying the term demographic data, this means the basic information about the client. We need the basic information about the client when the client is in front of us, and we need this to access something. And also this is very important for a case study whenever we are studying something about the client. So we will include the name of the client, age of the client, sex of the client, sex that is biologically determined. We will not discuss about gender. We will only discuss about, and also we are discussing about the sex only, male or female. Occupation, if he or she is a businessman or a serviceman or a labor or a service, another service, there are very type, not only labor, there are the some professional individuals are there, some for like teachers, doctors, engineers are there, some social service providers are also there. For example, the labor, some people are there who are washing our schools, who are washing our airports, who are cleaning our roads. So that's also are included, and we will include in that case residence, urban or rural. This is very simple things. After that we will include the information about the marital status. For example, married, unmarried, separated, divorced, single. We will ask individual. So after that, mother tongue, whether it is Bengali or English or Hindi or French or anything. Religion, what religion he is he follows basically. So if some people are there who will tell, no religion I am following, I only follow the humanism, so we will write the humanism. So whatever the information we will get from the client, we will write that, not by our own, we will write that. Family type, nuclear or joint. Nuclear means only the husband, wife and the child, we know already, and joint family is there, husband, wife, child, and also the grandparent, like grandfather, grandmother, and also the and their father mother is also sometimes is also available. We can see that husband wife, if the husband has any sister, any brother, so we will also include that type of information also. And after the socio-economic status, lower middle or upper, that we will ask individual. After that, number of family members, how many family members are there, source of reference, from which or whom, not whom, the people or the individual who referred them to you, that information you should include. Reason for referral, why they are referred, that's also important. After that, informant's name, like the client, and sometimes there is a person with the client sometimes came. So we will always focus on who is giving the information, that's the informant's name. If the client himself or herself providing the information, then the client is own informant. If not the client, if someone is there for the client providing the information, then the he or she is the informant. So we will write the name of that person. Relation, not the client, relationship with the client. If there is another person is available for the client to provide the information, then we have to write the relationship of the person with the client. Duration of relationship with the client, how many times they are together with them, that means from birth or 4 years or something else, we have to write. After that, duration of relationship with the client, we already get it. Reliability and adequacy, I think this is the information of the reliability of the relationship and the adequacy of the relationship. So that's the thing. And also the information, and also we have to write how much this information is reliable and adequate. So this is the another thing we have to, we can ask many questions to the client to know about the reliability and the adequacy of the information by cross checking of information or the question. After that, we are seeing here the present complaints. Write present symptoms of difficulty or the disorder. That means present complaints means if client is coming to you, then what type of the issues or the complaints the client have, or what type of the problem he or she is facing now, that is the present complaint. That means what complaints he or she is facing nowadays. So that's we have to write. After that, duration of present complaints, that means how many days or months or years these complaints are running. Basically this is the thing, how many days the client is facing this problem, we have to write. It can be 1 month, it can be 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 year, it can be sometimes some days like 2 days, 3 days or 7 days, 14 days, we have to write. After that, history of present illness. In any type of history client has of present illness, that is the thing. So we have to write history of present illness. If client is saying something to you, for example client is saying that I am facing this kind of issues nowadays, so you have to ask history of the present illness. So that is the thing. If any type of the history client has a present illness, so the main thing is if the client has any type of the history of this problem, if any type of the history is there, after that this not after that, the main thing is that not now, before this, if the client or whether the client experienced these things before, that's the question is will be here. So if the client is saying that I am facing this kind of problem nowadays, we have to ask the client the whether he or she faced or experienced this type of the same thing before this. We have to ask that. After that, history of present illness include mode of onset. Mode of onset, that means the starting point of this problem, when this starts. We will also gather the history of present illness. If anything the history of present illness is there, client will say yes, I have experienced this before this thing, or before this episode, or before this event or incident, I experienced that we uh, already wrote. And also we have to write mode of onset, that means when did start. Abrupt, sudden, acute, insidious, patient apparently well. Abrupt sudden means within 48 hours, acute means within 2 weeks, insidious means more than 2 weeks, and patient apparently well means we can observe that patient is well now. So the mode of onset is basically when the illness starts. So we can write like if the client is here and he or she is saying you that I am facing this problem. So if she or he is facing it within 48 hours, we will write abruptly. If she or he is facing it within 2 weeks, we will write acute. If she or he is facing this more than 2 weeks, we will write insidious. And also we already included the history of present illness also, so that will also help us. Next is history of present illness include precipitating factors. Precipitating factors means specific event or trigger. Something is missing there, R become E here, I'm sorry. Trigger of onset of current problem. So what specific event or stimulus or incident or trigger was there for developing this problem, that's the precipitating factor. So that's the thing, that means what caused the person to develop this problem, what was the reason to develop this problem, that's the precipitating factor. The trigger to develop this problem, that's the precipitating factor. That means that's the cause of the precipitating factor, the trigger to develop this problem. Next is history of present illness include duration of symptoms. Duration of symptoms last 6 months means since last 6 months which symptoms we can see. Duration of symptoms means if client is saying I am facing this problem, so this type of the symptoms, how many days are staying this. We already include the history, we already include the information of when it starts, and now we will gather the information of how long the person is suffering from this. So the thing is duration of symptoms last 6 months. Last 6 months it can be, last 1 year it can be. So duration of symptoms it can be anything. So we have to ask the client how long time you are facing this type of the symptoms. After that, course. Continuous, episodic, fluctuating, not known. That means if you are facing this problem, so this problem is continuing, or this is episodic problem, or this is fluctuating problem, or the person doesn't know that. For example, I am saying, at first I am saying that continuous meaning if a person is facing some problem, for example depression she or he is facing, so it is a continuous process. In like 6 months, 1 year or 2 year he is facing or she is facing that, or it is a episodic thing. For example 2 to 3 months he is or she is facing, after 1 month or 2 months there is a gap, after that 4 month history is there, after the 2 month is gap, after that 4 month history is there. So if this is going in that way, so this is the episodic. There is the episodic thing, 4 month 1 month gap, 2 month 1 month gap, 1 month gap, 3 month, 2 month gap. So there is a episodic way this is continuing. Fluctuating means this also a thing. And also the fluctuating means the duration of thing also can be fluctuate. So this is the fluctuating thing. Sometimes is there like there is a history of, or the person is suffering from this problem about 1 month or 2 months he or she is suffering. After that there is a no history of that. No, not like that. I'm sorry, fluctuating means fluctuating means fluctuating means the individual is suffering from depression, and the thing is fluctuating. Not all the time he is suffering the depression, like not all the time he is suffering the major depression, not all the time he is suffering the mild or moderate depression. That's the thing. That means sometimes the person is very well, sometimes she or he is not very well. If the person is suffering from the major depression and getting the treatment from somewhere, so sometimes she or he is very well, sometimes he is not very well. If a person is suffering from the major depressive disorder, for getting the treatment, he is now well, so he is suffering from mild to moderate depression. So this is a fluctuating thing that we can get. So after that we can see about the there is like, if she or he is suffering from major depression, get the treatment, become well, and after that it again come back in same intensity. So this is also can be a fluctuating information or fluctuating problem. Main thing is that, and mainly we can see, and also this is the main important thing, is that the wellness of the person will fluctuate. If the person is suffering from major problem, he will fluctuate to mild to moderate, again major to moderate to mild to major. In this way that will fluctuate. So this is the fluctuating course will be. And we can understand after getting the information by talking with the patient. We will understand basically what the fluctuating means. So the wellness of the individual will fluctuate. The symptoms will sometimes very much intensely will we can observe, and sometimes not so much intensely we can observe the information. So whenever we are saying that information or the wellness of the person is very well or intensely well, that's the, and after some days become very ill, so that's the thing of fluctuating of disease or the disorder. So that's the thing. After that is the not known information we cannot get from the client. If it can be like he is not so much he never gathered that information or never observed that information, so we cannot get that information. After that, progress, improving, deteriorating or fluctuating. So progress is also something like improving. He is improving or not deteriorating, he is deteriorating. Okay, so we can get also that. When fluctuating, sometimes is very well, sometimes not so much well. So that's the thing I already said. In case of course, we already said that if the person is suffering from the disorder or the problem, in this case also the person's wellness or the person's symptoms or the intensity of symptoms will fluctuate. We can see that from major to mild to moderate, from major to moderate to mild, we will see that. After that, biological functions: sleep, appetite, bowel and bladder movement, sexual interest and activity, energy, predominant emotional state, last 3 months. So biological function we have to gather. How sleep functions we have to check whether there is insomnia or hypersomnia or sleep disturbance or something else. We have to collect that information. Appetite, if the person has the interest of food or energy of taking food, have that or not, we have to take that information. Appetite is low or heavy high appetite, he or she is eating too much, so that's we have to gather. Bowel and bladder movement is there or not, sexual interest and activity is there or not, predominant emotional state, that means what type of emotional state basically the individual has from last 3 months, what what emotional state the individual has. Basically the thing is, if the person is suffering from any disorder or the problem, whatever is this, what the predominant emotional state, what the most intense emotional state, that we have to come across, that we have to see from last 3 months, or from whether the patient is suffering or not, and also in the whole course of problem suffering, what the basic or the most intense emotional state that was predominant, that was very much intensely we can see, that is the predominant emotional state. That is what emotional state is so much intense in last 3 months of suffering. And also we can write the what type of the emotional state basically the person has, so that we can also write. Negative history of deliberate self-harm, if the person has any type of this thing, we have to write. Suspiciousness if have, bodily preoccupational symptoms if have. Bodily preoccupational symptoms means if there is any type of the symptoms in their body functions, already has, we have to gather that to know about if that is the prevalent thing or a triggering thing to develop this problem. That means develop this problem, or it can be like if that thing in some way, in some intense, if that is helping to develop or growing that problem, we have to know about that. If the preoccupied symptoms in their body or in his or her body, if she or he has, and we because this type of the information can help the doctor to know about the, if in some way it helps to grow that problem. So after that, history of fever or head injury, we have to write that. Other medical condition, we have to write that. Anything it can be, like if the person suffering from anemia, if the person suffered or experienced an accident or trauma, or any type of the person has experience of like epilepsy, fits, anything. After that, treatment history, medical history, psychiatric history. Any type of the medical history person has, psychiatric history, any type of the for this, or if the person has experienced any another type of the disorder before that, if there is any type of psychiatric history for that, we have to also write. After that, family history, family tree, we have to write. Family tree, we have to ask the individual if the client has a father or mother living or alive. How we can write that? We will ask the individual that if you have father or mother, he will, if he is saying that is I have father or mother, so we will do, we will draw a circle, we will draw a square for the, I think square for the male and the circle is for the female. So square for the male and circle is for the female. So the thing is, square is for male and circle is for female. So the client, if she or he is saying that I have father and mother, so we will draw a square and draw a circle. Square for male and this circle for the female, and we will write the square for father and circle for mother. We will write the father and mother, and after that from that circle and the square we will draw a tree and ask the individual how many brother and sister you have. So if the person is saying no, I am the only single child, so if the person is a male, so we will draw a square. If the person is a female, we will draw a circle. If the person is saying no, I have two brother and two sister, so we will ask, whenever there is more than one child, we will more than one individual or the child, we will ask who is the younger, who is the elder, and who is the middle child. So for example, the person is saying we have two brother, two sister, and I, so we are all together 5 individuals. So we will ask at first who is. So if for example he is saying at first my sister, so we will draw a circle and write down that elder sister. After that he is saying like after that I am, so we will draw a square and we will write the client himself. After that we is saying that after that I have one more sister, so we will write younger sister. So after that he is saying we have two brothers, so we will write according to their age, or we will write according to their age. According to their age, we will write the younger brother and the two younger brother. So in this way we will write. After that, family history also include age, living dead, cause of death, education and occupation of father. So age of the father, if he is living or dead. One thing is there that if he is dead, then the family history we will include like what the square for father or the male. So we will cross the square from left to right, we write down or we draw a cross. So that means that he is no more now. After that, cause of death we will write, education and occupation we will write. After that, family history include also the mother, age of mother, living or dead, cause of death, education and occupation. The same thing like father we included, like father we gathered, same we will also do for the mother. Family interaction pattern include communication, leadership, decision making, role, family rituals, cohesiveness, family burden. So communication pattern, if any type of is there, we have to write. Communication pattern is like if their communication pattern is direct or indirect, or so much complicated or triggering, or heterosis is there, or very much rigid is there, or authoritative is there, we have to write. Leadership, we have to write authoritative or democratic. Leadership, the 5 type of leadership is there. So 4 or 5 type of leadership I cannot remember now. So according to that we have to write the leadership. 4 main leadership section is there. So according to that we have to write. Decision making we can write like decision making like authoritative or democratic or disturbed, or decision making is like only the maternal decision making is there, only paternal decision making is there, we can write. Like paternal means that only the father or the male individuals in family is taking the decision for all member of family, or maternal means the mother or the female individuals are taking all the decisions for the whole family. So we have to write that. Role that is the thing that what type of the role individual has in his or her family. He is participating in his or her family, or he is not participating, he is providing in his or her family. That I have to write. What type of the role the person has in her family or in his family, I have to write. If the individual is providing something or not, if individual is communicating something or not, if what type of role, if she or he is taking his or her responsibility or not, engaging self with them or not. That's the thing. Family rituals sometimes is there, like in time of at time of dining, all the people get together and eat dinner. Sometimes is there is like during the at 6 p.m. during the aarti, they all together and attend that. So any type of the family ritual is there that the family members have to follow or try to follow, that I have to or we have to write. Cohesiveness is there is not, that means all the people are engaging or not, or we can say that they are providing the meaningful emotional intelligence or meaningful emotional quotient to one to other. If they are providing, that's it's okay. If that is not providing, we will also write, both we will write. Family, if there is something family burden is there, for example, if someone is very much ill, so the family have to take care of, and some, and it may be the case that the illness is very difficult and the family is providing the treatment but don't know how much they can this. So sometimes there are many, this for example, but sometimes there is very much intense incidents are there, intense events are there, so that sometimes become the burden of family, and that also may trigger the persons of the family, because we don't know what family is suffering from, what problem, and also the definition of problem is also different for the all the family and the individual. So we have to write that. Cohesiveness we already said. After that, any psychiatric history, psychiatric illness or MR or suicide or substance abuse or epilepsy, if is there or not. Psychiatric illness, into psychological disorder, the problem he or she suffered or suffering. Mental retardation, if someone has mental retardation, is the we nowadays we not use that, will not use. So though it already written that suicide if sometimes happened or not. Substance abuse or substance abuse, information of substance abuse, if there we have to write. Epilepsy is there, we have to write. After that, personal history, that include birth and prenatal or postnatal birth, type of birth, crying, and complication also we have to. So prenatal or postnatal birth, or postnatal birth, we can write like if sometimes is there is like cesarean baby or normal baby, or there is like forceps baby, we can write, or we can also write like prenatal, postnatal, like 6 months baby, 7 months baby, we can also premature baby, weight we write. Type of birth we write, the forceps or normal or cesarean. Birth, crying if there is not. Birth complication if something is there is not. Weight we can write, that I already said. So prenatal, postnatal thing is that if something, if there is any type of the problem was there for mother, or if the entire problem is there for children during the prenatal period, during the postnatal period, or in the accident he or she faced right after the birth of the baby, we can write. And also if in time of the accident is there during the prenatal period, we can write. After that, personal history, parent and home situation, academic history, habits, occupational history, etc, etc. So personal history is the client's own history. We can write parent and home situation, like parent and home situation is comfortable or friendly, or cohesive, or relaxing, or emotional quotient is there, or so much gathering is there, so much comfortability is there, we have to write. Academic history, the individual or the client we can write his or her academic history. Habits, if any type he or she has. Occupational history, or if the person has any type of the occupational history, so we can write that. After that, menstrual history, we know this is general thing. Sexual history is also general thing. Marital history, if the person is married or not. Social history is like if the person has any type of friend, if she is engaged with them, if she give them party, or attend the party, or enjoy with them, or they follow them, they have the cohesiveness within their group. If he or she has any type of special relationship, like if he or she has any type of the partner, so we have to write. And how this relationship is also going, we have to write. Sexual history is also there, like if she already did something, if she or he has the experience of sexuality, or did some sexual activity with someone else, what type of the sexual interest is there, what the sexual orientation is there. So this thing we can write. What he that I already know, sexual interest and a sexual orientation. That thing we can write. If she has an interest in the sexual activity, whatever the interest, we can write. After that, the thing is premorbid personality, dominant personality trait have before illness or injury. So the thing is, dominant personality trait means the main or the most important personality trait that we all over the year, all over the period, we can see the dominant thing, that the most important thing, that the most basic characteristic of the trait that we always see in the individual, that is present before the illness, during the illness, and also there is a evidence is that the predominant or the most dominant trait of the individual also the individual has or have after curing the disorder. That's also a thing. So the predominant or the dominant personality, not predominant, the dominant personality is something is that is also basic, or the main, or the basic, or the most dominant characteristics of the individual that we see all over the years, and also during the problem, the thing that is always present in the individual before the disorder, during the disorder, and after the disorder. Evidence is there that after the curing of the problem, this dominant personality is available in the individual. So evaluation is right collection of data help diagnose correctly. So that's the important thing. If we will collect the data more accurately, more correctly, so that will help us to diagnose more accurately, and so more accurately we can provide the treatment to individual. So thank you from the Calm, Cool and Relax YouTube channel. So thank you very much. I am trying to provide you most specific information and the correct information to all the people, and all of this information is basically on the basis of my concept and understanding. If something is wrong, if something is you cannot understand, please forgive me, and also you can search for the other channel also. That's totally upon you. If something is not right, please forgive me, because this all are on the basis of my own understanding and the concept. So thank you very much for subscribe my channel, for viewing my video and like this video. Thank you.